Natasha Martina Simadi Brata is an 11th grade student of Sekolah Pelita Harapan, Lipo Village. Natasha is an energetic and cheerful girl. She is quite involved in a lot of activities both inside and outside SPH. Inside Sekolah Pelita Harapan, she joined the rugby team and fundraising committee of the student council. Besides that, she is also involved in the Speak Up Club. From SPH, she is able to go to so many competitions, primarily because of the very encouraging teachers in the school. Personal Project was a meaningful experience. Middle year program Personal Project really prepared students for facing diploma program. Personal Project is definitely beneficial for students and helps them to grow both as a student and as a person. For the MYP Personal Project, Natasha managed to make the Jakarta Journal book that documents the lives of different people in Jakarta. She strolled around many areas in Jakarta and randomly interviewed people.
Okay, so basically I did a project called the Jakarta Journal. I chose it because I was greatly inspired by Humans of New York, which is this blog about this blog created by Brandon Stanton. He goes around New York just taking pictures of New Yorkers and giving people their stories. It's gone really great. There's over 12 million followers, and he's gone so far as being recognized by Ellen DeGeneres and Barack Obama, and he's even working for the United Nations. And I wanted to do this like a Humans of Jakarta for Jakarta, because I wanted to show other people that Jakarta is also as cool and also as good and unique as New York, and also it would be so much more interesting to see what it is like in Jakarta, because we always get the scope on Western countries and Western cities, and we don't really know much about our own city. Being in an international school, I'm not really that aware of my own city, but when I did this project, I had to go around and I had to talk to strangers, and I got to know so many people from that, and I realized that I thought that Jakarta was this actually backward city, not as maybe liberal as New York, but then I got to know the people and I realized, wow, these people are actually so interesting. I just got to know like more than 200 people through this blog, and it's just so different from like what I thought when I saw what I see in New York or things like that. The Jakartans aren't exactly the same as New York, but they're also interesting, and they have their own lives and have their specific culture, and that's cool to see too. Basically, I would go out and just be brave and bring my camera around. This is at the time of my personal project, of course, and I would just go to the streets usually, and I would just, whenever I saw someone interesting, I would just be like, hey, in Indonesian, of course, hey, can I take a picture of you? And sometimes if they're complacent, they'd be like, okay, sure. And then I'd then be like, oh, can I ask you a few questions? This is for my blog. Can I get to know you better? I want like, it would be interesting to get your story. But then other times when they're like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? Why is she like asking me questions? They would reject me. And then I've gotten a lot of rejections, like maybe 50 rejections or over 100 rejections just doing this. And sometimes it hurts because you feel, who likes being rejected? And yeah, that's one of the hardest things. But when people do allow me to take pictures of them, and then I just talk to them for around 2 minutes. I just ask them like questions, and it's just like a conversation, and then we get to the point where they reveal something about themselves, and that's usually the stories that I use in my blog.
Natasha's my best friend, and she's honestly super fun to hang out with, and in addition to that, I love working together with her on school projects or any other projects like NHD and whatnot. And she's a really hardworking person, and she's reliable, and she's just amazing to work with.
I just know her from student council and rugby, but she's really enthusiastic and she tries hard in everything she does, and she's really good at everything she does, and she's good with with other people and with her work, and she's just a fun person to be around and a really good person to have on a team.
Well, the personal project took from September to maybe around March or May. I don't remember, but it took a while, especially to get the pictures and to get the people. Okay, in total, 8 months. The places that I feature the most is Kota Tua because there's so many people there, and there's also people, foreigners and things like that. So it's interesting to get their perspective on Jakarta too. Well, because I'm continuing it, I'm expecting the Jakarta Journal to grow really big. In Facebook, it has gotten 3,000 likes. I'm aiming for maybe 15,000 by the end of my time in Jakarta, because I'm going to be graduating in the next 1.5 years. And I also want maybe 1,000 followers or more on Instagram. And I'm also going to create a book actually by this summer, and I want to maybe sell that book and to the Jakartan community, and I hope that it's actually going to be big around Jakarta. Well, I want to thank my parents for buying me my first DSLR camera because of this project. And I also want to thank my friend Gavin, who helped me. He's also continuing the project with me. And also I want to thank all my friends who actually support my project, and all the followers and the likers on Facebook. It has gotten so many support from the Jakartan community. And I just thank all the teachers too, and my PP supervisor, Mr. Adam. He's in America now, and I just thank everyone who has supported the project. I think it's a common thinking that we are too young to do good things, but I think that we're not too young, and that we have equal rights as all the adults to do great things, and we have the capabilities to do so. For example, Brandon Satin, he did this when he was in college or even after he graduated, and I did this when I'm in 10th grade, and it's so possible to achieve the things you want to achieve, and therefore don't limit yourself to the common expectations of society, of teenagers having to just stay at home, play games or watch movies and wait till college to do great things. Don't wait, and actually start and live your dreams.
Beside the Jakarta Journal book, she also managed the Jakarta Journal blog and other social media such as Facebook and Instagram. She's inspired by other journal called The Humans of New York. Through the Jakarta Journal, Natasha takes us to know so many stories about ordinary people in Jakarta.